Chapter 23. As to that poetic imitation which is narrative in form and employs a single meter, the plot manifestly ought, as in a tragedy, to be constructed on dramatic principles. It should have for its subject a single action, whole and complete, with a beginning, a middle, and an end. It will thus resemble a living organism in all its unity, and produce the pleasure proper to it. It will differ in structure from historical compositions, which of necessity present not a single action, but a single period, and all that happened within that period to one person or to many, little connected together as the events may be. For as the sea fight at Salamis and the battle with the Carthaginians in Sicily took place at the same time, but did not tend to any one result, so in the sequence of events, one thing sometimes follows another, and yet no single result is thereby produced. Such is the practice, we may say, of most poets. Here again, then, as has been already observed, the transcendent excellence of Homer is manifest. He never attempts to make the whole war of Troy the subject of his poem, though that war had a beginning and an end. It would have been too vast a theme, and not easily embraced in a single view. If, again, he had kept it within moderate limits, it must have been overcomplicated by the variety of the incidents. As it is, he detaches a single portion and admits as episodes many events from the general story of the war, such as the catalogue of the ships and others, thus diversifying the poem. All other poets take a single hero, a single period, or an action single indeed, but with a multiplicity of parts. Thus did the author of the Cypria and of the Little Iliad. For this reason the Iliad and the Odyssey each furnish the subject of one tragedy, or, at most, of two, while the Cypria supplies materials for many, and the Little Iliad for 8, the award of the arms, the Philoctetes, the Neoptolemus, the Eurypylus, the mendicant Odysseus, the Laconian women, the fall of Ilium, the departure of the fleet.
Summary and reflection for Chapter 23.
In section 23 of The Poetics, Aristotle shifts the focus to poetic imitation in a narrative form that employs a single meter. He contends that the plot in such a narrative should adhere to dramatic principles, mirroring the structure found in tragedy. The ideal subject for this narrative form should be a single, complete action with a well-defined beginning, middle, and end, akin to a living organism in its unity. Aristotle draws a distinction between this narrative approach and historical compositions. Historical compositions, he notes, often present a single period rather than a single action. Events within that period may be little connected, lacking a unifying result. He cites the example of simultaneous sea fights, like the one at Salamis and the battle with the Carthaginians, where events do not lead to a single outcome. Highlighting the excellence of Homer, Aristotle commends the poet for avoiding the attempt to encompass the entire war of Troy in a single poem. Such an endeavor would be too vast and complex. Instead, Homer focuses on detached portions, incorporating episodes like the catalogue of the ships, thus adding diversity to the narrative. Other poets, according to Aristotle, tend to center their poems on a single hero, a single period, or a singular action with multiple parts, creating complexity.
Practical exercises.
Writers. Unified short story. Write a short story that adheres to the dramatic principles mentioned by Aristotle, ensuring a single, complete action with a distinct beginning, middle, and end. Episodic narrative. Craft a longer narrative that, while maintaining a single, overarching action, incorporates episodes similar to how Homer diversified the Iliad and the Odyssey. Composers. Musical composition reflecting unity. Compose a musical piece that mirrors the unity found in a well-constructed narrative, with musical shifts corresponding to the story's distinct phases. Episodic musical journey. Create a musical composition with episodes, each representing a different facet of the overarching narrative, akin to the episodic structure of Homer's works. Dancers. Choreographed unity. Choreograph a dance piece that captures the unity of a single, complete action, using distinct movements to represent the beginning, middle, and end of the narrative. Episodic dance expression. Explore dance movements that symbolize episodic elements within a narrative, conveying a cohesive story while embracing diversity. Actors. Structured scene performance. Perform a scene adhering to the dramatic principles discussed by Aristotle, ensuring clarity in portraying a single, complete action. Episodic monologue. Act out a monologue that explores various episodes within a character's journey, maintaining the unity of a single, overarching narrative. These specific exercises encourage artists to engage with Aristotle's insights on the narrative structure, emphasizing the importance of unity and diversity within a poetic imitation employing a single meter.